Alright folks, Denis Villeneuve's highly anticipated sci-fi epic Dune has finally dropped. Talk about it. First of all, I want to preface this video by saying that I watched most of Villeneuve's prior films before Dune, and I will be ranking them all in a separate video. So if you're interested in seeing my ranking of Villeneuve's movies, stick around. Folks, I want to say that I saw the film in IMAX, and I don't regret it whatsoever, because this is, I don't know what word to use, because when I say theater experience, then you have things like Endgame coming in, which just the hype around it all trumps anything else. But in terms of immersion, in terms of the film itself, experiencing it, unbeatable. The sound just booming through the speakers. I was in the world. I was watching these events unfold with them. Incredible. I mean, it's frozen in my mind. Some of the visuals that I saw, some of the moments that I experienced are just remarkable. Made so much. I mean, I'm sure it's fine on a computer. I'm sure I will watch it someday again on a computer or a smaller TV. Obviously, every viewing can't be in IMAX, but my God, it was just such a phenomenal experience that I highly, highly recommend. If you ever, rarely I think a film comes out that just is begging to be seen on the biggest screen possible, on the biggest sound system possible. Obviously, that's ideal for every film, but rarely is it, I don't want to say a necessity, but rarely is it just so, enhances the film so much as it does in the case of Dune. It was really built for that experience. And if you get the pleasure of, viewing it that way as I did, then I think you will enjoy it. And then I do want to just talk about the technical elements, in which nearly everyone, it is phenomenal. The cinematography, of course, from Greg Fraser, who is doing The Batman, and it was just announced this morning, is also doing Dune Part 2, so that's a plus. The visual effects are phenomenal. The sound design and the score as well, Hans Zimmer, is just phenomenal here. I mean, this is a score that puts you into the world. This is a score that perfectly encapsulates just the tone of Dune. Every scene, he knows it so well. I can't even begin to fathom how long he must have spent just visualizing, picturing where he wanted to take each scene with his musical cues, and every single one did an excellent job. It just, this grin on my face at times when just the booming score worked so well. It fit like a glove in every scene. I mean, for God's sake, it's remarkable in every technical aspect. The editing, of course, doesn't get better than this. This is a remarkable film, technically. And then I will just speak on the story as well. I haven't read the book. I started it. It was pretty boring, and I have a lot of stuff to do, if I'm just going to be blunt. So, didn't prioritize it. Maybe I'll get around to it someday. I hope to get around to it someday. And I didn't watch the original movie because I've heard bad things, and again, I have other stuff that I'd like to prioritize specifically for this channel, other directors. Watching the filmography was something I wanted to prioritize over that. Anyway, but this world is so fascinating. It makes me want to read the book like immediately after, just because of all the lore here, all the politics going on here. And I think that a film could easily mess up the political element that this film explores so heavily, Game of Thrones-esque type of political environment with all the houses and their negotiations and the spice being the thing that runs the world. But I was just so intrigued by it all that I wasn't, that was not a complaint of mine. I absolutely loved the story that was being told. It's not a traditional sci-fi story, maybe. It focuses definitely a lot, again, on the intricacies of this world. But as a result, it feels fully fleshed out, and I appreciated it. But folks, story is a great part of the film, but it's also its downfall, because this is suffering from Part 1 syndrome. It's entirely a Part 1. You got nothing of the Part 2. And it's structured super oddly in that way. First of all, the pacing. Everyone and their mother has said at this point that this is a slow film. And I don't think you could honestly, in good faith, deny that criticism. I think it can be very slow. Would I have changed it? No. Would I want Villeneuve to change it? No. Because it is all necessary. But again, I can't judge it based on whether or not it should have been included. I have to judge the product as a whole. And it doesn't always function super well. The pacing can definitely be off. The biggest moment in the film, whether it was intended to be the climax or not, happens a little after halfway. It does not happen near the end. And as a result, again, things like, you feel almost that sense of resolution about halfway, and yet the film continues for quite a bit longer. So issues like that, did they very much decrease my enjoyment of the film? No, but it certainly, it did it to an extent, and I'm not sure how. I'm really questioning the rewatchability of this film and how I will feel about it upon rewatches, because I'm not sure that it will get better with rewatches. Part 2 could recontextualize it, that's for sure. I did like the film. You'll see my rating at the end, but that's really the big problem, and it shouldn't be understated. The pacing and the fact that it is just a part 1 do hurt the film. Folks, again, I am very excited for a part 2. I love this world that we've been introduced to. I think it is an astounding cinematic achievement. I do have my problems with the story. I will watch this film again. It is a film I very much enjoyed, and I think an apt comparison would be to Lord of the Rings. Now, clarify, I'm not a huge Lord of the Rings fan, so this comparison isn't comparing the quality of the films, because in my opinion, Dune is better than Lord of the Rings, but more so that it is a grand, epic, of large proportion story that dives heavily into the lore, is excellent in every technical regard, but it's slow and it's more of an event. It's not something, I pop in Star Wars every now and then just because I want to see the film. I want to be entertained. I want to enjoy it. I can't see myself doing that with Dune. I couldn't see myself doing that with Lord of the Rings. I know some people can. That's just not my kind of thing. Dune is something more cerebral watch. I want to pop it in to be wowed, to be blown away by the technical aspects, to get into the world of Arrakis again. That's a unique experience, but it doesn't make for a personal favorite film, and that's fine. If you love this film, more power to you. I just really liked it. I can't say I loved it. I'm going to give Dune an A, a middling A, not particularly low or high. And again, very excited for the sequel, very excited for future rewatches. It'll probably be a while just because, again, this is a slow film that I'm not keen on returning to anytime soon. I've had my fill of it for the time being. But folks, Dune is an A. Remarkable all around. All right, folks, that's my review of Dune. If you saw it, let me know what you think. If you've read the book, please let me know if it's really worth a read, because I just need that last bit of motivation to read it. Folks, I've been EPC Reviews. You've been amazing. I will see you, Dune 2, October 2023. Please come back before then. But if you don't, I'll see you then. Goodbye.